Hey folks, and welcome back to West Yorkshire Retro Gamer. It's transfer time again for Leeds United. Another new player comes in, and this time it's in the shape of left winger Noah Okafor. So let's talk a little bit about him, just like we've done with all the others. See how he fits into the team potentially, and see what he could bring to the table. Excuse me. So he's 25-year-old. Oh, excuse me. I'll try this again. 25-year-old. Another player over 6 foot. So again, added height. Seems to have been one of the mantras of the type of player that Leeds have been signing this season. Signed for approximately £19 million. The figure was actually given in euros, and they said figures over 20 million euros. So we'd have to assume roughly £19 million is what we bought him for. I mean, the thing is with transfer fees, it's never truly mentioned exactly as to what a team has definitely paid, is it? You know, because you're giving other clubs indications of what your finances are like, and a lot of clubs don't want to do that. Hence the whole undisclosed fee thing, which really annoys me. Anyway, so what can Noah potentially do for Leeds United? Well, based on his career so far, he's played in his native Switzerland for Basel, as I call him. They're pronounced Basel, I think. He got 3 goals in 39 appearances there. 25 goals in 71 playing for Red Bull Salzburg. Leeds are experienced in getting players from that area in the past. He then got his big move to AC Milan in Serie A, got 7 goals in 39 appearances there. Was also having a brief loan spell at Napoli. He's also been capped by Switzerland at plenty of underage levels, and has got a couple of goals in 24 caps for the main team. So how does this equate to in terms of those seasons, if we break those down a little bit? So when getting into the first team at Basel, he got 3 goals in 24 games in the 18-19 season. Didn't get any in 14 appearances thereafter. And in the 19-20 season, the reason he only played 14 times was he played another 11 times on top of that for Red Bull Salzburg, where he got 3 goals in 11 games in that 19-20 season. The other seasons that he had in the Austrian Bundesliga were a little bit more productive for him. Got 6 in 18, 9 in 21 and 7 in 21, so a little bit more productive on that side. And in total for Salzburg, he actually did okay, getting 25 goals in 71 games, not too bad. But we have to be aware that the Austrian Bundesliga is a lower level of league, so you don't necessarily take it with a pinch of salt, but you can also kind of think, right, okay, he's able to do that at a lower level, what can he do at a higher level? So he then tried his hand at AC Milan, which is obviously a higher level. First season not bad, 6 goals in 28 games, so that was a bit more reasonable. He only got 1 in 11 the following season, so not necessarily the best, and he couldn't muster anything for Napoli either. But that was only 4 appearances. So in total, from a league perspective, he's got 37 goals in 168 appearances across all teams that he's played for, and as a career total at club level he's got 50 goals in 235. So he's not super prolific, but he did play against Leeds United in the friendly against AC Milan, and looked like one of their better players. And he's been the understudy to the Brazilian Leão, who is obviously a world-class player. So it would always be very difficult for any other left winger to try and dislodge that. I think he could do alright. As I say, he looked good in that friendly. And again, he's got that physical build and presence that Leeds have been trying to get with virtually all of our signings so far. I think practically every one has been at least 6 foot tall. He has said in his interview that his best position is on the left wing, so it's down to Daniel Farke to make use of him on that position if he's to get the best out of him. And I think he offers something a little bit different. We've got a variety of wingers at Leeds United currently, and I think Noah is probably different to all the others. I mean, they're all different to each other in a way, in terms of their style of play and what they bring to the table when they're on the pitch. But at the end of the day, he's another fully fledged international player, which again seems to have been the mould for, as I say, virtually every player we've signed has played at least one cap for their country. So, at the end of the day, if these players are being seen as some of the best that their country can offer, I don't think that's a bad thing in terms of Leeds United signing them. And again, it's a player that's not going to be disrupted by other competitions. They're not going to be playing in the African Nations Cup or anything like that. So then it's a case of him staying fit. There seems to be a bit of a running trend going on that Leeds only sign injured players and things like that. But we've seen with the likes of Sam Byram, to give an example, that Byram's a player who, since he left Leeds to then rejoining Leeds several years later, Sam's fitness was pretty good when he came through the Leeds Academy, wasn't too good when he left Leeds, and then when he came back to Leeds, he's been in really good condition ever since. So I'm not too bothered about the injury record for Okafor. It's going to be more of a case of what can he bring to Leeds on the pitch when he comes on. Is he going to be a player that scores a lot? Is he going to get a lot of assists? Is he going to have a bit of technical flair about him? That remains to be seen. But again, I think for the money we've paid, I think we've got a good player. At 25, plenty of time, to improve. And as I say, Switzerland on 24 occasions have deemed him to be their best left winger. So, I look at this and I think it's a pretty good deal. Every signing we've made has been under £20 million so far, which kind of allows the club to be able to buy a good quantity of players. You also want to make sure the quality is good, and when you look at some of the signings we've made so far, Stack and Gudmundsson in particular, those two have really made a very good impression early on, haven't they? And you put those two together and we've got them for a combined 30 million. It's not bad going, is it? It's really not bad going. Around that, 28 to 30 million, I think, for those two combined. So it's really, it's really good stuff. And I'd be very hopeful that Okafor can do the business for us. Like any of the new signings, I just hope that they're not afraid to get involved. Show what you can do on the road pitch. Because ultimately, all Leeds want is success, from the club right down to the fans and everyone in between. So then it's a case of, do the players want success, and that's the task for Noah Okafor and all the other players we've signed. We're getting very close to a fully new signed startable 11, which is something that I felt we needed from the very start of the summer transfer window. Okafor certainly covers the left wing void for that. So as things stand at the moment, we just need an additional right back. I feel that Calvert-Lewin and Demetri have probably been signed to replace the likes of Bamford and Joseph. So I think another striker could be in the works. And then maybe another midfielder, or from maybe a bit more of an attacking midfielder, and maybe a right winger. I mean, if we've got all of those, we've got a brand new startable 11. Not suggesting that all 11 should start every week, but it gives that extra bit of quality and depth in the squad. So this I'm quite looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing what Okafor can do for Leeds United. He seems quite up for it. And he showed us a glimpse of what he can do when he played for AC Milan against Leeds in the friendly this summer. So, yeah, high hopes for Noah Okafor. But we'll leave it at that, folks. As I mentioned before, we're trying to keep these player profile videos between 10 and 15 minutes, over thereabouts, so we'll keep it at that. But big welcome to Noah to Leeds United, and now it's down to him to show us what he can do. So, big thank you for watching. Do please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and do please give the video a like, it really does help. Even just in this summer transfer window alone, I've had an increase in subscribers to the channel, which is really appreciated. So big thank you for all the support. Do please keep it coming. If you like this kind of content, whether it be the football stuff or any other video game content, a short retro gamer is the place to be. So do please subscribe to the channel. Yeah, with this in mind, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.